guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarns for hand knitting. So today I will be promoting or telling you about our new yarn. This is our Ombre chenille yarn. So gorgeous color, it's super soft, super beautiful, and we have 6 colors available. This is our dusty rose. This is our fire, the one that we will be using today. And they're very similar, but they are not, because this is pinkish and this is really red. This is our the most popular blue hydrangea. We're actually out of it now, but more is coming by the end of this week. And then we have another really popular, beautiful grape. And we have Twilight. It's a beautiful black and white or whitish. And another popular one is this one. It's Cappuccino. So these colors are available on our website, BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com. It's the same website, guys. So, but for the blanket today, I will be using beautiful red color, this one, and I will be making a honeycomb pattern. I showed this pattern a few years ago, and it's really beautiful. It's very popular. It will make a very dense, very thick blanket, and you will need more yarn than for any other pattern because it's very thick. So this will be 32 by 55, and I will use 2 of these big skeins, okay? So it will be kind of in between of the small and medium size. So this is the size of the blanket. 32 by 55. Beautiful honeycomb. So if you have our yarn, let's get started. Okay, guys, let's get started. So we will be first, you can either make a knot to prevent unraveling and then cut it close to the end, or I actually use a little lighter to light the end or to burn the end, and that prevents unraveling for the yarn when you're knitting. So place the yarn in front of you like that, and now this is the tail, this is working yarn. Working yarn goes on the top like that. You made the first loop and then insert your hand inside the loop, grab working yarn and pulling it out. These 2 strings down, the first stitch up. You can see that this is a huge stitch. It would be perfect for arm knitting, but we're hand knitting. So we're pulling our working yarn down and making it about inch, little bit over an inch tall. Now insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. You just made your second stitch. So try to make stitches of the same size. This way they will look nicely on the finished project. So now I will press the bottom of the second stitch. I will insert my hand or my fingers, grab working yarn and pull it out. So it's our third stitch. And now we will be casting on a chain. So guys, 24 stitches, because every honeycomb is 4 stitches. So 24, it's 6 honeycombs that we will have. So what do we do now when we have this cast on chain? I will flip it on another side, as I always do. And the reason is because I want this beautiful chain to be on the bottom. So now the working yarn goes on the back, and we will start pulling out our first row. We are not starting pattern yet, we're only pulling out our first row. So this is our first stitch, and we will knit it from the from underneath. So here we are, and now we will be knitting middle part of the stitch over here, not the top, not the bottom, middle part. So see this middle part, you're lifting it, inserting your hand, your fingers, depends on the size of your palm, and then grab working yarn and pulling it out. So we have 2 stitches. So the what we need to do here, we need to have them all of the same size. So here is the next one. Lift it, insert your fingers, grab working yarn, pulling it out. You now have 3. And now we will be making or pulling out the first row and making them all of the same height, and that will give us 24 stitches, guys. We could get with 25, but then it will not be the number we need, because the number should equal divided by 4 plus 2 if you want the borders. So it would be 26 if you want the borders, but we will be making it without the borders. So we are just making honeycomb pattern with 24 stitches cast on. So here we are, we're almost done. And the honeycombs that we will be making, we will be always making from the left to the right. And every time you are going from the right to the left, it will be simple knitting stitch as I am doing now. So remember, that's the pattern. You always start the pattern from the left side here. So here we are. We are doing criss-cross to the left. So we are taking this second stitch, we are crossing it on the top of the first one like that, on the top, and now we are knitting it. So it's criss-cross to the left. That's how I call it, okay? Criss-cross to the left. Now, the next 2 will be criss-cross to the right. So this stitch, the first one, closer to you, goes on the top of the second one. So criss-cross to the right. And now we're knitting this stitch first and this second. We just created the bottom of honeycomb. See, that's the pattern. So now we will be repeating this criss-cross to the left, criss-cross to the right. So the yarn is on the back, criss-cross to the left. This second stitch goes on the top, first one goes on the bottom. You're knitting second, you're knitting first. Now criss-cross to the right, second. First stitch goes on the top of the second to the right, and then you're knitting this first and then this second. We created another bottom of honeycomb. So that's pretty much the whole pattern for this row. Criss-cross to the left and then criss-cross to the right. And depending how tight are you knitting, you will use more or less yarn, guys. If you're knitting looser, you will use less yarn, and you will see this opening over here in the middle. And if you knit really, really tight, you will use a lot of yarn, because this is a very dense pattern. Okay, so here we are. We have our last 4 stitches, and we're creating one more honeycomb. Criss-cross to the left, and second, and these 2 criss-cross to the right. So we're done with our first row, and as I said, we are always knitting simple knitting stitch for this pattern when we're going from the right to the left. So I will be skipping the first stitch, as I always do. It will create a beautiful honeycomb, and then knit second, third, fourth, and all the stitches on this row you're simply knitting, inserting your fingers, grabbing working yarn, and pulling it out. And because this beautiful yarn is changing the color from the lighter to the darker, the blanket will look really nice looking, as I showed you at the beginning of this video. So here we are done with our second row. I'm counting rows from the row where we started our pattern. I do not count the row that we just pulled out, okay? So what are we doing next, guys? So sometimes you see that you have this, when you cast it on, you see this big stitch. So what I usually do, I'm taking the tail and I'm inserting in the next stitch, like that. See? You can do it on another side too. You can insert it underneath, and that will pull this opening like that, and then you can just tuck it in, and because you still need to tuck in the ends. Here you go. See, now we have it beautifully tucked in, and I usually just recently I started burning the end. So you start burning it, and when it's still burning, you attaching it to the yarn, and that will connect it, that tail to the any stitch on the back. See, you do not see it, you do not feel it, and it will hold really nicely. So let's go back to our pattern, because this row will be different from previous two. See, we created the bottom of the honeycomb, and then we just simply knitted. What we are doing now, we are switching. That was crisscross to the left, crisscross to the right. Now it will be opposite, crisscross to the right, and then crisscross to the left. See, that's how we will create the honeycomb. So crisscross to the right, and then you're knitting this stitch first, and then this stitch, crisscross to the left, always on the top. So you're knitting first this stitch and then this stitch. Don't forget, because it's kind of on the back, it's really easy to miss it. See, now we have this beautiful honeycomb. So the same we will be repeating to the end of the row. Crisscross to the right, crisscross to the left. I will actually write it down underneath the video, this abbreviation. If it's easier for you to look at the pattern, then print it or write it down and then just follow it. You can follow my video, whatever works for you, or both video and the printed pattern. It's not much to print, but it might be helpful if you have it in front of you. So here we are, see? So we're creating the honeycomb for this guy, and here we're creating the other one, the bottom of it. So make sure that you are creating them in the right order. So this one crisscross. So if you need to go somewhere, you need to do something, make sure you finish your row and then do it, because then you can forget where you were in this pattern. Okay, so here we are. We finished this row. And now again, as I said, we are simply knitting, because we're going from the right to the left. I'm skipping the first stitch. I'm knitting all the others, and that will be all for the pattern. So from the next row, we will be simply repeating our pattern. Crisscross to the left, crisscross to the right, next row all knitted, and in the row number 3, crisscross to the right, crisscross to the left, and the next row knitted. That's all. And when you make a few rows, you will get the hang of it, and it will be much easier. So see, you see this beautiful honeycombs. So what are we doing now? We are repeating this row, as I said. So crisscross to the left, crisscross to the right, and this one is opposite, crisscross to the, okay, crisscross to the left, crisscross to the right. See, it's kind of not as easy as it could seem. Okay, here we are. So I will keep doing it and repeating this pattern. Again, there is an abbreviation underneath the video, so go look at that. And when you're done with all yarn, and for this blanket, as I said, I use 2 of those big biles like that, the big skein. It's 3 skeins together here, 3 small skeins, guys, okay? And then I will come back and show you how to finish it. Okay, guys, so here we are. Look at this gorgeous blanket we just made in this honeycomb pattern. So see all these honeycombs, and I think they look really nice on this yarn. It's kind of like very fall looking, at least for me, because it's fall, and this is like fire color, very red, and so go get this yarn. It's available only at our website, and make this beautiful blanket. So what are we doing now? We are finishing it up, or we are casting off. For casting off, I will take this first stitch and I will make 1 extra stitch, because that will make a beautiful turn over here. So now my hand is inside, my fingers inside. I'm adding a 2nd stitch, and then I'm taking working yarn and I'm knitting them together. The same for next row. You keep your fingers inside this 1 stitch, add another, and knit them together. And you're making this beautiful chain on the top. The only thing that makes sure that you're knitting every single stitch, because this pattern, as I mentioned many times, it's very dense and it's very easy to miss a stitch. So look on the back that you wouldn't miss a stitch. You can go forward here, okay?
Okay.
Because it's a lot of stitches. Okay. So when do you think you can make this? So first one I need for the for Friday.
Yep.
And second one, if you can do it on weekend or by Monday.
Yeah, I probably can do that.
Okay.
So Wednesday, yeah, I'll probably try and have the first one done by tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, we're back.
Right.
Okay, guys, look at this beautiful chain. See, we made the cast off chain and no stitches missed. So we have only 2 stitches left here. Don't forget this last stitch. See, I was skipping the stitch on the side and it made me this beautiful chain. So these 2 last stitches, knit them together, okay? And now you can cut the yarn, or if at the end of the yarn, then tuck it in. So I will burn the end to prevent unraveling. The tail goes inside the last stitch and pull. And then you can just simply tuck it in. And I usually go on the back, and then as I showed you, I am burning the end, and I'm attaching it to any stitch on the back like that. See, and that's how it's finished. It's beautiful. So again, this yarn, ombre yarn, this is a fire color. We have 5 other colors I showed you at the beginning, and available only at BeCozi.net. We custom created this color. Go get it. And when you're posting your blankets on social media, please tag BeCozi. Stay warm and BeCozi. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. So I would like to remind you about my hand knitting book. This book was published in September 2021, and this book is all about hand knitting, how it was born, what yarn to use, and 12 amazing beautiful patterns. And this is the only book on the craft market, on the book market, giving you all the information every step on the way for hand knitting. It's a lot of fun. It's very nice book. We're selling it on Amazon and on BeCozi website, and we have almost 5-star reviews on Amazon. Everybody loves this book. And here is me on the back, and this book is available. And good news, second book is coming soon, so go check this out.